The ancient city of Troy, shrouded in myth and legend, has captivated imaginations for millennia. Nestled in what is now modern-day Turkey, the site of Troy reveals a history as rich and dramatic as any epic poem. For centuries, the only evidence we had of Troy was Homer's Iliad, a tale of love, war, and the wrath of Achilles. However, in the 19th century, archaeologists began to unearth the ruins of this once great city, confirming its existence. Homer's Iliad, composed sometime in the 8th century BC, is the most famous account of the Trojan War. The Iliad, while a work of fiction, is believed to be based on a real war between the Greeks and the Trojans. The discovery of Troy by Heinrich Schliemann in the 1870s revolutionized our understanding of the ancient world. Schliemann's excavations at Hisarlik uncovered the ruins of 9 cities layered on top of each other. The Troy of the Trojan War, known as Troy Zevher, dates back to the late Bronze Age, around 1200 BC. The archaeological evidence unearthed at Troy reveals a city that was both powerful and wealthy, strategically located at the crossroads of trade. According to legend, the Trojan War was sparked by the abduction of Helen, the wife of Menelaus, king of Sparta, by Paris, a prince of Troy. Menelaus, outraged by the insult to his honor, rallied the Greek forces, led by his brother Agamemnon, to lay siege to Troy. However, the abduction of Helen may have been merely a catalyst for a war that was already brewing. Troy's strategic location, controlling the entrance to the Hellespont, made it a vital trade route. The Trojans, ruled by King Priam, controlled the flow of goods through the strait, much to the chagrin of the Mycenaean Greeks. The economic and political tensions between the Mycenaean Greeks and the Trojans, coupled with the personal insult of Helen's abduction, provided ample fuel for a major conflict. The story of the Trojan War, as told in the Iliad and other Greek myths, is a tale of human passions: love, hate, pride, and revenge. The Trojan War, according to legend, lasted for 10 long years. The Greeks, unable to breach the formidable walls of Troy, laid siege to the city, hoping to starve the Trojans into submission. The Iliad vividly describes the battles that raged outside the walls of Troy, the clash of bronze weapons, the cries of the wounded, and the valor of heroes on both sides. The siege of Troy was a brutal affair. Both sides employed a variety of siege warfare tactics. The Greeks, led by their greatest warriors, Achilles and Ajax, launched numerous assaults on the city walls. The Trojans, led by Hector, Prince of Troy, defended their city with equal ferocity. The siege warfare of the late Bronze Age was a grim and protracted affair, often lasting for years. Armies of the time relied heavily on infantry, armed with swords, spears, bows, and arrows. The siege of Troy was not just a physical struggle, it was also a battle of wits and morale. Perhaps the most famous episode in the Trojan War is the story of the Trojan horse, a tale of cunning and deception. According to legend, after 10 years of siege warfare, the Greeks, seemingly defeated, sailed away, leaving behind a giant wooden horse as an offering to the goddess Athena. The Trojans, believing the horse to be a symbol of their victory, brought it inside the city walls. However, they were unaware that the horse was hollow and concealed a contingent of Greek warriors led by Odysseus. Under the cover of darkness, the Greeks emerged from their hiding place, opened the city gates to the returning Greek army, and sacked the city. Was it a real event or simply a literary invention? The answer remains elusive. Whether the Trojan horse was a literal object or a literary symbol, it has become synonymous with deception and the dangers of letting victory blind you to potential threats. The story of Troy, as captivating as it is, has long been considered the stuff of legend. However, in the 19th century, the work of Heinrich Schliemann and later archaeologists at Hisarlik began to blur the lines between myth and reality. The excavations revealed that there was indeed a real city of Troy, strategically located and destroyed by fire around the time the Trojan War is believed to have taken place. The archaeological evidence uncovered at Troy is vast and impressive. The ruins of city walls, some as thick as 15 feet, attest to the city's formidable defenses. The remains of houses, palaces, and temples provide insights into the daily lives of the Trojans. While the archaeological record cannot confirm the literal truth of every event described in the Iliad, it does provide compelling evidence to support the existence of a real Trojan War. The discovery of arrowheads and sling bullets embedded in the walls of Troy points to a violent conflict. The story of Troy has resonated throughout history, inspiring countless works of art, literature, music, and film. Its themes of love, war, heroism, betrayal, and the fickle hand of fate are universal and timeless. The characters of the Trojan War, from the noble Hector to the tragic Achilles to the cunning Odysseus, have become archetypes, their stories retold and reinterpreted for generations. The impact of the Trojan War on ancient Greek culture cannot be overstated. The story of Troy served as a foundational myth for the Greeks, shaping their worldview, their values, and their sense of identity. The legacy of Troy extends far beyond the ancient world, adapted to different cultures and time periods. The story of Troy continues to fascinate us for numerous reasons. First, it is a tale of epic scope filled with dramatic battles, heroic deeds, and tragic losses. The sheer scale of the Trojan War, with its vast armies, its legendary heroes, and its 10-year duration, captures our imaginations. Second, the story of Troy is a timeless tale of human passions and emotions. The love between Paris and Helen, the rage of Achilles, the loyalty of Hector, and the cunning of Odysseus are themes that resonate with people across cultures and time periods. The characters of the Trojan War, both human and divine, are flawed and complex, making them all the more relatable and compelling. Third, the story of Troy is a reminder of the power of storytelling. The Iliad and other written accounts of the Trojan War are products of this oral tradition, shaped by the beliefs and values of the societies that produced them. The story of Troy is a powerful reminder that history and myth are often intertwined. For centuries, the Trojan War was considered nothing more than a legend, a tale spun by poets and storytellers. However, the work of archaeologists has demonstrated that there is a historical basis for the myth. The ruins of Troy, the evidence of a destructive fire, and the artifacts unearthed at the site all point to a real city that met a violent end. The blending of myth and history in the story of Troy enriches our understanding of the past. Myths, while not always literally true, can provide valuable insights into the beliefs, values, and worldview of the cultures that created them. By studying myths alongside historical evidence, we can gain a more nuanced and complete understanding of the past. The story of Troy also highlights the importance of critical thinking when approaching historical narratives. The story of Troy, passed down through generations, continues to captivate and intrigue us. It is a tale of love and loss, of war and peace, of heroism and betrayal. While the Trojan War may have taken place thousands of years ago, its themes remain timeless and relevant to our own lives. The story of Troy reminds us of the destructive power of conflict, the importance of diplomacy, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. The fall of Troy serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris. The Trojans, blinded by their pride and overconfidence, allowed the Trojan horse within their city walls, sealing their fate. The story reminds us that even in victory, vigilance is paramount and that arrogance can be our undoing. The story of Troy also highlights the complexities of human nature. The characters of the Trojan War, both Greek and Trojan, are neither wholly good nor wholly evil, driven by a complex mix of motivations.